Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you're at. Salute, Swerve 360, the Monument, the Medicine Man, Southpaw Battle Coalition, talking card against humanity. They dropped 2 battles. Way to get these recaps out. For this one, we're talking about T.R.I.G, T.R.I.G versus F.U.N.D.S, F.U.N.D.S. Battle of the acronyms. F.U.N.D.S is definitely a newcomer. I'm not sure about T.R.I.G. I haven't done my research yet. T.R.I.G is full of aggression, comedy, performance, and energy. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We already know T.R.I.G got this battle 3-0 without a doubt. Salute to you, my G. It's early in the morning, so I'm just taking it light with a little wine as we recline and talk about a great battle. This 3-0 was entertaining to watch nonetheless, in the way that it's fun to watch a lioness eat a damaged elk, in the way that it's fun to see a cat kick a little mice around before they eat it. I could go bar for bar on this one. It would be tough. T.R.I.G had a lot of material, covered a lot of ground. A lot of people in Southpaw and LOC should be wary of T.R.I.G. I'm telling you, man. Blown away, much in the way I was blown away by the Chance Fisher performance, but in a much different way. Like I said, T.R.I.G had aggression, but he mixed in the comedy, so it didn't get too tense. It's just, F.U.N.D.S was not ready for this. Not at all. Many people have mentioned F.U.N.D.S was rapping his verses as though they were just verses in a song. Really needs to work on his performance, a little to no performance. It almost seemed like he was rapping through them as fast as possible to get this over with. And under the circumstances, not a bad idea, but it just didn't make for a good performance. Just T.R.I.G was like a honey badger. Like a honey badger don't care. Pop, pop, pop. Back up. Crack a joke. Pop, 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 pop. A lot of performers would have trouble with T.R.I.G. This was a bit of a setup for F.U.N.D.'s first battle, if it was. Tough go around, man. Tough go. Let's get to the, let's get to the notes. T.R.I.G went first. Not sure how that was determined. Minute 18 to 7:30. That's 6 minutes and 12 seconds. Full of content. Performed well. And he had the benefit of having his team with him. Very supportive, but he didn't need it. He could have performed like this in any room by himself and been fine. Who the fuck did you think you were battling? Pussy. Just aggressive and mean, but with a hint of comedy to ease the tension. Just a well-rounded performance. He had a 22 scheme. Fuck you. Just in his aggressive. You can't out-rap me. Just screaming on him. Damn. He had a Family Matters scheme. He screamed on him. RT had you by the heartbeat. Got some personals mixed in. I mean, there's really not much that T.R.I.G did not do in this battle. As I said, this A lot of people would have took a L to this performance on this night. It was precise, uh, passionate, energetic. Great performance from Trig. Sit his little ass back in the car seat, just sun and sun. Oh, man. Weirder than Trey Authentic and some other guy's bathroom. Huge reaction. Just shook the room with that one. And then we get to F.U.N.D.S. Now, F.U.N.D.S, you got a lot of heart. One, to take this guy as your first battle. Two, you've been dissing everybody around town recklessly. You are the Rico Reckless of RVA. So I know you got heart. And there were some bars mixed in with what you had. It's just that they're not going to hit the way you performed them. You really got to work on your performance. So I know there's some bars there. I know you got a big heart. This is the disclaimer. Just, go work harder at it. Realign. Watch a few battles maybe. Soak it up. But the way you performed on this night is not going to work. Didn't work that night. It's not going to work going forward. So this is just, the medicine man. The medicine doesn't always taste good, but it's always good for you. You feel me? You feel me, dog? So let's move on, right? The biggest early moment for F.U.N.D.S actually went to T.R.I.G, which is unfortunate when your competitor does that to you, but, he said he had a line where, you see what I'm saying? And T.R.I.G, no. And it just stole his moment in the middle of his verse. What Mission Control says, oh, okay. Salute to being just timely and off the cuff. T.R.I.G once again. All right. He had to run it back. There was some crowd noise. He did manage to get out a shot at OG Illa. And he managed to call Sleaze fat in a roundabout way. Now I like a little non-violent dissery. I like a little non-violent back and forth, which has gone on between OG Illa, Sleaze, RT, a few other guys, and F.U.N.D.S. Like I said, F.U.N.D.S is the Rico Reckless. He will diss the whole community. He does not care. So on that level of heart, I appreciate. But you got to come with content to back that up. You got to come with content, okay? T.R.I.G round 2, 1040 to 1526. That's 4 minutes and 46 seconds of rhyming. He had some running backs. He had some crowd interference in there because T.R.I.G performed. I mean, this is his performance, I suppose, is why this battle is doing double the numbers of the Blood Code Face battle. The Blood Code Face battle was actually a more evenly matched situation. I mean, this motherfucking thing here was a blowout. But T.R.I.G's performance was supreme, and I believe F.U.N.D.S has set himself up in a position where people like to hate him. So those combination of those two things are what are driving the numbers on this battle. All battlers out there, Southpaw Coalition, we got to get them numbers up. Commandeer, Radio B, and Commandante Bravo say we got to get these numbers up, so let's go. Fuck you, die slow, is what T.R.I.G says to this guy. Shut the fuck up. I mean, just brutal. If it hadn't been for the moments of comedy, this would have been extreme. I mean, just brutal. He'll beat the voice box up to your girl sound like Keek the Sneak. That was a big moment. He took a minute to build up to it, but it was worth it. He's old school, knock your mama off the cliff. Sell it, snort it, we white different. Turn your baby head to a golf ball. That's original. I ain't heard nobody say that before. Not in passing or jokes or whatever. That's original. I mean, comedy, aggression, bars. Just a well-rounded package. 360 right there. Well-rounded package. How this cockeyed so ill? You know, it just aggression, the whole ball of wax, right? So F.U.N.D.S round, 1528 to 1903. This must be his second round. 4 minutes 35 seconds. Even. The time limits are even here. That's good. The times are good. This battle and the Blood Code face battle, times are well within the world where we can judge the battle accurately. Okay? And that's all we ask for here, Swerve 360 Digital, to keep the times similar between the performers so one can't overpower with bulk of material or content. 4 minutes 35 seconds of rapping. Keep your eyes wide open, but you Forrest Whitaker. He got a mild response. People were still listening. The Southpaw crowd is very forgiving and supportive, you know, and even in the post afterwards, F.U.N.D.S has got nothing but like positive critique and support to, you know, go back to the drawing board, try again, take it as a learning experience, blah, 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 etc., etc. You got T.R.I.G on safety. I'm a server. I need them steaks, alluding to the fact he's a chef. It's interesting. The waiter, obviously, I think by the bars was battling the chef. So, you know, that interpersonal relationship of the restaurant staff comes to play here at the Southpaw Battle Coalition. You get a little piece of everything behind the scenes. Another great, you know, premise that T.R.I.G needs another to pull the trigger. Now that could, you know, presented in the correct way with a little bit of build-up, that could have shook the room. But, you know, you can't just throw it out there. You know, that was a gem, but when you just throw it out there like it's a regular rock, nobody recognizes it as a gem. Well, I did. Some did. And you did get a modest amount of people still listening that reacted to that. But when you got a gem, which that was a gem, my G, when you got a gem, the build-up is the polish. You got to build it up and polish it, pardon, and present it in the correct fashion. And that in that way, you could have had a big line instead of, you know, what you had. You know, so moving on. This is just positive critique, trying to make everybody better as we build a powerful league in this internet world, right? T.R.I.G round 3, 1912 to 25:10, rap for 4 minutes 58 seconds. Both gentlemen right in the same area. I believe he freestyled the intro when he mentioned that he followed F.U.N.D.S around in the venue. T.R.I.G followed F.U.N.D.S around in the venue, and that is something about his breath smelling like the bologna, the string around bologna. It's funny. It was funny. If it was a freestyle, it was dope. Seemed like he got into his material. Memorial Day, no memory after you this weekend. You know, you'd be forced to call uncle. Now F.U.N.D.S got rap snacks. I missed it. There was some things in there. I'm not exactly talking about it. T.R.I.G had a lot of material. Don't get me wrong. T.R.I.G had a lot of bulk of material. That's what we look for. Combined with an excellent performance. I mean, this guy's performance on this night would have been hard to beat by a lot of performers. You know, he broke his name down into a bunch of feminine products and then said everything about you is pussy. Great, you know, great angle. Stevie Stevens did it. Just screaming on him. You can't out-rap me! You know, just aggression, screaming on him. Called him a little horse face. Asked if he was getting ready for Preakness. The feel and fill bars. Paralyze your career, sit down and be humble. His cousin Carl smashed like she threw it in reverse. And then he broke down his name, Joshua. All right. Putting down the notes. F.U.N.D.S round 3. You know, he had got the point by then. He rapped for a little bit, bowed out, Yeah, it was a couple minutes, wasn't much, wasn't worth talking about. The key here is that Trig was a handful for anybody. F.U.N.D.S was not ready for this. He did have a couple of moments. If you go back to the drawing board and reevaluate the situation, that he could come back stronger and compete. This is a definite 3-0. Everybody knows this. Doing double the numbers of Blood Code versus Face. I believe 1, because of Trig's outstanding performance. 2, because people like to hate F.U.N.D.S. He is the Rico Reckless of RVA. A lot of heart. Feels free to diss anybody. But you got to have content. You got to have something to go with the dissery. It can't just be fuckery. Going forward, I wouldn't mind seeing F.U.N.D.S again if he agrees to reevaluate. Maybe F.U.N.D.S versus Black Ab. 2 guys that can, kind of go toe-to-toe. Trig, I would like to see against anyone. Chance Fisher and Trig. Definitely. If you want to start there. But I could see Trig against a lot of people. We'll start there. Trig against Chance Fisher if they are both newcomers. If Trig has history, please let me know. I'd be interested in watching some of his older battles or other battles. I'll do the knowledge in between time. Southpaw Battle Coalition, Swerve 360, The Monument, The Medicine Man, the king of Roanoke Battle Rap. Have a happy July 4th. We got a new event coming up soon. I'll have predictions for those. As we keep it moving, I got a couple questions to ask. Do we need time limits that are more rigid? We didn't need them here. Judging in battles. Who are these judges? And when has it ever been a better time to be involved in RVA hip-hop? Let's talk about it. Let's get it going on. Swerve 360, Southpaw Battle Coalition. Happy 4th, y'all. I'm out.